Him, are you able to mute everybody? Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Sharam Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः okay, so thanks for all that feedback. So the subject matter of our course here, that is what makes all the difference. It makes the difference between whatever we have studied so far. It does not matter whether it is engineering, whether it's medicine or psychology or architecture or anything else that we have studied in this world. Whatever new fields that have come up, you bring all of them here. And all of them can be put in one subject, one category, one bucket called Aparavidya. What we are talking about here is called Paravidya. Okay, Paravidya. Paravidya means knowledge of the whole, which is equal to knowledge of the self. And this knowledge, they say, cannot be read from the books. Even the greatest book may be there still. Great Shankaracharya has written commentaries. Still, they say you cannot read it. Like this, there are reasons why, and we've mentioned some, but we will continue to talk about it. That is because we are trying here to decondition ourselves. The entire process can be, in one word, we can say deconditioning. I am the whole. This is the subject matter. I am the whole. Do you know you are the whole or not? I can say yes, I am crystal clear. The answer is yes. You can just walk away. You don't need to attend any class. You can walk away. If the answer is no, I am confused. I don't know how I am the whole. I don't know how I'm so insecure. I'm so this and that. Then, since this I am the whole is a fact according to Vedanta, then I am conditioned to think I am limited. Not just this Janma, but all past Janmas. Therefore, this is a deconditioning process. And so, there is only one way to decondition this mind. And that way is words. Words. The words have to deliver the goods. The words being heard have to deliver the goods. And not just because somebody speaks doesn't mean the goods will be delivered. And it has to come. We start the class with a prayer, and everybody, all the rishis have to bless us. Then only the words will work. So we're very, very prayerful in this process. So the deconditioning process is involved. And so Swamiji would say, in this class, your free will remains suspended. Look at that. When you are listening to the Shastram, your free will remains suspended. Until coming to the class, you've been exercising free will all day. From the moment you get up, free will kicks in. I have to get up, I have to brush my teeth, I have to make coffee, this, that. I have to do. And caution, everything is there. The minute you come here, it is the responsibility of the teacher to make sure you relax. First, you relax. You have to relax. If you're not relaxed, the teaching will not work. And the teaching also will make you relaxed. That also will work. And so that listening is so important. And so these devices, the modern devices that we have, whether it is PowerPoint or animations and this and that, it is not at all used by traditional people. I'm not saying people these days, I've seen people using it. I don't say it is wrong to use PowerPoint. No, it's all right. PowerPoint can be used. But a person like me, I look at you, okay? I want you to look at me. I want eye contact. I'm looking at Surendraji. He's shaking his head, he's laughing, he's smiling. Sundariji is there. Girishji is shaking his head. So Bhagyaji is smiling. So that I need. And I want you also to see what I'm saying. Prasad mentioned this gestures and what do you call that? That whole body language. Body language is important. Body language is crucial in this. And when people are looking at the PowerPoint, where is the body language? No, you can peek the PowerPoint here. You can speak here. Okay, all this mixture, bundi, add some bundi and add some jeera and add some masala powder and all that. This concept comes, Navaratna kurma, Navaratna mix comes. We don't get into this mix business. We look, the teaching has to be joyful. The listening has to be joyful. This is a very important thing for us. It's life or death. And so traditional people do not get into this. They don't. Even though I can prepare a PowerPoint, I've done PowerPoints like somebody said, Maheshji said, I'm a PowerPoint person. I like to say what they like to hear, not what I want to say. I've done that, okay? So, but it's been 5 years since I did that. And now if you ask me to do that, I'm going to protest because making a PowerPoint, I can read Shankara's Bhashyam in the time I make PowerPoint. And whether will I read Shankara's Bhashyam or will I make a PowerPoint? So, plus this joy of interacting with students is so important for me, as it is important for you to interact with me, to say, yes, I got it. I need for you to say, I got it. Otherwise, my sitting here is a waste of time, and your sitting there, of course, is also a waste of time for you. So that's the context I want to lay here. And so I'm not saying using PowerPoint is wrong. No, not at all. Rameshji's suggestion is valid. I take that. And another thing Rameshji said was, nice soothing voice, and it puts me to sleep. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not. Okay. I don't know. It should not put you to sleep, okay? I'm trying to crack a few jokes also in between, so I wake you up. And so if that's not working on you, then I think I need to change my strategy. I don't know what. I need to think about that, okay? So, yeah, see, sometimes this subject can put you to sleep because, tiredness is there. And sometimes you end up hearing the same thing again. And sometimes the topics are, looks like hard to grasp. And so you yawn and it happens. It's not new. It has happened to me. It has happened to every Swami because every Swami was a student and so it has happened. Nothing wrong with that. But if every class you're sleeping, then we need to have a talk, okay? Whether the problem is here or the problem is you, we need to settle that. We have to take a vote. We need to do a Google vote process and then say, everybody click on this button, yes or no, okay? So I really hope I'm not putting people to sleep. That I'm hoping. I mean, I do look at you periodically, and then I see that many of you are responding. So that's good. And so PowerPoint, I think I will leave it to the PowerPoint experts to do that kind of a presentation. And I will stick to the method I love. And I've taught children, and I've enjoyed teaching children, and the way they respond. And those classes are all interactive. Periodically, every 5 minutes, I'll ask a question, and they'll respond, and so forth. And so that's a different style of engagement. And here, of course, you need to be patient for 1 hour before you can open your mouth. That's tough. And so I appreciate that patience that you all have. And one thing that is missing here, now, of course, in a physical class, that's a different chemistry altogether. I think that would be fantastic. But that not being there, still the engagement is there. You're still listening, and I'm hearing you, etc. So that engagement is still there through the video. So it's not all gone. But one thing is missing. Can anybody guess what is missing? You can, let's see. Make sure you can. Yeah, you can unmute yourself if you want to.
The concise notes that you suggested that it should be made.
Okay, concise notes. So there was a time when we started the classes and many students volunteered to write notes, and I don't know whether it's continuing or whether it has stopped or not. I don't know. And maybe it has stopped. What about the in the videos there was supposed to be some little description? Is that going on him, or how is it?
Yeah, Jayakumarji, it's not complete. I mean, and most of the descriptions are not really concise descriptions. It's more like which shloka was covered and its meaning. That's about it. It's not.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, so it doesn't. So number of times what happens is that a number of points which get covered, right? Small, small, but like in Tattva Bodha, we used to have points which are covered. So that sort of description is not there here. It's
not
more
there
like
yet. Yeah, if somebody wants to, in Tattva Bodha, Hem spent every week he used to write. He used to write a paragraph or two about the class, and then and then I would look at it and then make any corrections if needed. And then it used to be it's a very good exercise for anybody to do. And Tattva Bodha, I think we had only one class a week. Now we have
yeah.
2 classes a week, and so that's a good exercise for if anybody wants to volunteer to do that. Just write a paragraph or two, or just list a few points, key points that you learned in this class. Like that, it's a good exercise, and we can share it with everybody. So if there are volunteers, we can take turns and do that. Okay, now any other thing that is missing in this class? I want more answers.
I miss the direct contact, Guruji. I think in a satsang, you sit right in front of the, in a class, in satsang group, and that's what I'm missing. It's like when you ask the question or when you ask us to, repeat the shloka, I think that's what I am missing.
Yeah, exactly. So in a physical room, we can see, if somebody is struggling, then the teacher can respond to that, and that doesn't happen. So that there is a difficulty there, and so I think we should make a note of that. And
it is the ambience which is missing. So
yeah, okay. Ambience is missing. What else is missing? I want to hear one more thing.
Interaction between the participants is missing, no, Gurudev?
Yeah, interaction between participants, that's missing. How do we know that is important?
It's very important.
We know it's important because Acharyat Padam Adatte. Okay, this is a Subhashitam. Listen to this. Acharyat Padam Adatte. Padam
Sahachari.
Padam Sishya Swamedhaya.
25%.
Padam Swabrahmacharibhyaha. Padam Kalakramena cha. Correct? So this explains the learning process, how we all learn. And Acharyat Padam Adatte. So we learn a quarter from the teacher. Okay, Acharyat Padam. Padam here means quarter. Acharyat Padam Adatte. Padam. Okay, please mute yourself, Madhumati and others. Okay. Padam Swa Brahmacharibhyaha. Okay. There is Madhumati's daughter is there, so it's good. I mean, I think family situations I understand. So
Sorry.
Padam Shishya Swamedhaya. Okay. So another quarter learned by the effort of the student. Swapna mentioned writing notes, reviewing. Mahesh mentioned reviewing, and it makes second time when you go through it, suddenly something clicks. Or suddenly there is a doubt that you did not have before. Previously you thought you understood, but now you don't understand. You thought you understood, but now you don't understand. That is also a good thing in a way. So that is called Padam Shishya Swamedhaya. Then Padam Swa Brahmacharibhyaha means classmates. Another quarter comes from the classmates. Because after class you all meet, no? We all meet. Kya ho gaya? Boring class tha. Arey kya hai? He's repeating the same thing again and again. So when is he going to? It has something. You have to let out, let out the steam. Something you have to do. So at least the steam has to be let out. At least for that you need people. You need to talk to your friends. And or it was a great class, or that one point I missed it. What was that point? Missed it. Why I missed it? Because I dozed off, so I missed it. Otherwise, why you will miss it, right? Or I was thinking of something else. Okay, so that thing is needed. That's missing. Because that's important, because there are certain things we may be shy of asking the teacher. Okay, we may feel it's too simple, or something, some thought may be there in the mind which we cannot control, and we'll let go. Whatever be the reason, we may not feel like asking, or he may think it's a waste of time. Like this idea we may have in our mind, so we may not ask, and then we don't ask, and then it's gone. One opportunity to clear a doubt is gone. Correct? Whereas if you all walk together and then go to lunch or whatever, and then something comes up. So this is how it works. Or somebody gets together. Arey, this Sanskrit he told you this, and Anvaya, what is Anvaya? And somebody says, Anvaya, you don't know. Come on, I'll tell you what Anvaya is. And then so people pitch in, and then suddenly there's a learning that happens. And so that part is missing in this class.
Yes.
And that's where Vijayji's idea comes, which is, it's called a breakout room. Breakout room. Zoom has something called a breakout room. Well, it's a term, but bottom line is, can the students get together? Okay, in a session like this, and then with the teacher being absent, and then they can discuss. You all can discuss about certain words and shlokas and meanings. He said this topic, that topic, etc. That can become a pretty useful session. And it's also a way to know each other. We all, not all of us know each other that well, right? We're still, to a certain extent, we are still strangers, and to a certain extent, we are friends. And so maybe there is a reason to meet like that. So what you can do is this, Vijayji, maybe what you can do is offline in WhatsApp or something, you can get feedback from folks and see if they're interested in a breakout room. And even if you are interested, what you can do is maybe we can allot 15 minutes or half an hour or however long, it doesn't matter really. And a particular time of the week where you all can meet as students and just discuss whatever you want to discuss. So I think that's actually a very good suggestion. So is this what you had in mind, Vijayji?
Yeah, exactly same thing. Okay, I was thinking as an extension of the satsang, extension or a part of the satsang. Satsang we take about half an hour, maybe 20 minutes we hear from you for the questions that people have, and maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes where for that session, whatever is our key learnings, key takeaways, we could discuss amongst a group and then say, okay, bye-bye and go. That was how I thought, but a separate session also is welcome.
Yeah, so you are welcome to decide how we want to do it, whether it is after the satsang, whether it is before the class, or whatever, depending on the time, because this is a long session we are having, 1.5 hours. So it's up to you how you want to do it. And so go ahead and discuss that, okay? And then even if there are 5 people, 10 people who are interested, I think it's something we should experiment. And I see value in that. I do see value in that. Yeah. Okay. Good. Did I miss anything? Any other important thing? One more thing. Yes. The shloka practice. So not everybody is good in chanting, right? And so what we should do is perhaps during those sessions, breakout sessions, maybe somebody who's good in chanting, like Swapna or somebody else. Many people who, Mahesh and others who have studied Sanskrit and who know how to chant these things, can take turns and help others who have difficulty. That's a possibility also. Yeah. Anything else I did not cover?
No, I think it's very good suggestions, Jaykumarji.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so we will continue here. Okay. All right. Sri Vidya. Okay. Let's chant from number 9. Yajñarthat karmanonyatra.
Yajñarthat karmanonyatra.
Lokoyam karma bandhanaha.
Lokoyam karma bandhanaha.
Tadartham karma kaunteya.
Tadartham karma kaunteya.
Mukta sangas samachara.
Mukta sangas samachara.
Saha yajñah praja srishtva.
Saha yajñah praja srishtva.
Purovacha prajapatihi.
Purovacha prajapatihi.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Anena prasavishyatvam.
Yeshavostvishtakamαδhuk.
Yeshavostvishtakamαδuk.
Today we will do 11. Devan.
Devan.
Bhavayata nena.
Bhavayata nena.
Te devaha.
Te devaha.
Bhavayantu vaha.
Bhavayantu vaha.
Parasparam.
Parasparam.
Bhavayantaha.
Bhavayantaha.
Shreyah.
Shreyaha.
Paramavapsyatha.
Paramavapsyata.
Devan bhavayata nena.
Devan bhavayata nena.
Te deva bhavayantu vaha.
Te deva bhavayantu vaha.
Parasparam bhavayantaha.
Parasparam bhavayantaha.
Shreyah paramavapsyatha.
Shreyah paramavapsyata.
Yeah. So, verse number 9, Krishna talked about, he introduced the word yajna and he said, do yajna, do your actions as a yajna, because otherwise those actions will only bind you. We saw that. He gave a reason of that nature. And in number 10, he gave a positive reason. He said, if you do your actions as yajna, then there is a symbiotic relationship, and especially the Vedas were also given to us along with our own creation, and so you will be using the Vedas, you will be doing the yajna to the Vedas, and the Vedas will help you, and therefore life will be a dharmic life, and therefore a very, very happy life. And so ishta kama dhuk, he used the word there. So you get what you like, what you want, not what you like, what you like, but at the same time what is dharma also. So purushartha, all four purusharthas will be satisfied if you do your actions as a yajna. We saw that. Now in this shloka, in number 11, he is talking of a symbiotic relationship, and he's saying devan bhavayata. So you propitiate the devatas, because we saw now that every phenomenon is a devata. Now we are beginning to appreciate that devata, and so every phenomenon is a devata, and so there is any number of devatas. You can create your own devata. Computer devata you can create. Those days there was no computer. Now you can create a computer devata. Maybe you worship computer as a Saraswati, because through the computer I'm learning so much. That is maybe the way you look at it. Maybe computer is like Hanuman for me, because Hanuman, like the way Hanuman does things, the computer helps me do things. Okay, then computer becomes a devata. So everything I look at as a devata, and so he says here, devan bhavayata, may you propitiate the devatas, may you invoke devata in whatever you do. Okay, and so for us this is a very important thing. It starts from the morning. From the minute you get up, it starts, this vision starts, and by looking at your own hands and saying karagre vasate Lakshmi, that's it, over. I invoked Lakshmi, Durga and Saraswati in my whole body, in my hands, means that's how the day itself starts. So therefore now sanctity, the body is sacred. I cannot abuse my body, and I cannot use this body to abuse other people, and so all that is given. When we start the day like that, then that mindset is there, that attitude, we begin the day with that attitude. Then of course Surya, and Surya for us is not just a ball of fire, not just some helium and hydrogen and some combustion is happening there, 3000 degrees, 6000 degrees Celsius, all this they say, or whatever. And so no, that is all happening, that is true, but our vision is more than that. For us Surya is devata. Because of the sun, the whole solar system is functioning, and who knows what else is functioning. And my own life, most importantly, my own life is functioning because of Surya Devata. And that is why I do Surya Namaskar. Surya Namaskar is not possible if you look at sun as a ball of fire. Ball of fire, why do you have to do Namaskar? What do you get out of doing Namaskar to a ball of fire? Nothing. Anyway, he is doing his job, and every morning he rises. So I ignore him. Why do you waste your time thinking about sun? There are so many important things to do in life. And what is this looking at the sun and doing Surya Namaskar? Doesn't make sense. No, because he's an important part of me, my own life. And our ancestors have worshipped Surya every day. And so when I look at sun, hey, it is the same sun my parents looked at, the same sun my grandparents looked at, the same sun my great grandparents looked at, that same sun. And you look at moon, same thing. It seems the moon, I think the same side of the moon is what is facing the earth. And even though the earth is rotating and revolving and all these things, still I think they say the same side of the moon you see. And every time you look at it, you see the tree, and then there's a lady sitting under a tree or something, I've heard. So that same image is there. Amazing. That means what? That means it's the same moon that our ancestors looked at. Correct? How do you know our ancestors, how do you know moon existed when our ancestors lived? For that, you have to go back to this astronomy and astrology. And you go back to our people. They've been using this lunar calendar for ages. And I'm trying to understand it. It's still confusing to me. And they've been using the lunar calendar. And today, every ritual done is based on, is it Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Amavasya? What is it? Paurnami. Okay, then you have to do something special on that day. Amavasya, definitely a special day. Okay. And like this they have. You go to Veda Patashala, Prathama, they will not have classes. Veda Patashala also, they have holidays. Don't think only you and I have weekends and all that. They also have a weekend, but it's not a weekend. It is, they have particular days. Prathama, day off. Prathama is a day off. And so the kids all enjoy. And Prathama, they play cricket and this and that. That is their idea. It's all a lunar-based lifestyle. So we know the moon existed during those times also. And it is the same moon I'm looking at. And so, Somavasaraha, Monday. Hey, for a Monday means Somavasaraha. Hey, the presiding deity of the day is Soma. And this one, Chandra. Chandra Devata. What is it? Dadhishanka Tusharabam Shiro Dharnava Sambhavam Namami Shashinam Somam Shambhor Mukuta Bhushanam. Some of you are nodding your heads, yeah. So it's a worship of this Soma Devata, Chandra Devata. So we have a Navagraha. I hope all of you know what Navagraha is, right? Navagraha, correct. We don't know. See, what happens in the north, because these invasions have happened, they have completely just destroyed our temples. They have completely finished off everything. And so in the north, sometimes they have difficulty following certain things, even though they are very, very religious people. My goodness, the religiosity in the north is just something to be seen. But they may not know. If you say Navagraha there, they may not know what it is. And so, whereas in every temple in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, etc., Navagraha is known to us. So there, Soma. You have to, there is a prayer for Chandra. Like this is how our lives. So day starts with Surya Namaskara. Om Hram Mitraya Namaha. Om Hrim Ravaye Namaha. Om Hrum Suryaya Namaha. Where is the question of doing this Surya Namaskara without sun being looked as a Devata? So for us, everything is a Devata. And that's why we tell our children, hey, you got to get up before sunrise. Because when the sun rises, you must be there to welcome him. You can't be sleeping when some guest comes home, and when your friend comes home in the morning, will you be sleeping? You'll immediately get up. No, this, that, and he's coming, and you prepare yourself. And so like that, you should look at the sun, and you have to welcome the sun by doing a namaskar and say a prayer or two. And that's how we teach our children. And so this order of Ishvara in the form of Devatas. So we break Ishvara into all these Devatas, so we can recognize the order. We can relate to various orders, correct? And because Ishvara, hard to think, whereas if we say Surya Devata, easier to comprehend, correct? And so Surya Devata, Devan Bhavayata. Anena means by this. By this means what? By this yajna, yajnena. By the yajna that Prajapati gave you, by that yajna, worship, propitiate, recognize, be sensitive to the Devata. Correct? Devan bhavayata. And then what? Then what happens? Then te devaha vaha bhavayantu. So you can put a full stop after devan bhavayata anena. Full stop. Then after you do that, what? Te devaha, those devatas, vaha bhavayantu. Vaha bhavayantu. May they in turn propitiate you. Propitiate you means let them bless you and let them give you what you want. We saw that earlier. So let them bless you. That blessing is a propitiation as well. And so te deva bhavayantu vaha. And so that kind of relationship we begin to develop, that ecology. And there is no ecology out there. Don't think the ecology is in the forest or in the mountain or in the river, etc. No, ecology is not there outside. Ecology is there only for the person who understands. For a person who says, this whole world is meant for me to consume, there is no ecology. There is no ecology. And this world is meant for me to enjoy. No, that is not correct. It's a wrong view. So we have to recognize that ecology. And so here our Puja Swamiji quotes. He quotes Ronald Reagan. How many of you have heard of Ronald Reagan? Okay. So many of you have heard of Ronald Reagan. So he was a president of America in the 80s. In the 80s. Okay. So that's many years ago, for 33 decades, 4 decades ago. And Ronald Reagan, there was, it's a time when economy was booming and all that. There's a lot of some people protested redwood trees in California. California, there are some special trees called redwood trees. And these redwood trees, our Balaji and others can explain. And tall trees, very wide, I think you can't even, hugging that tree is not possible. And in fact, a car can go through that tree. They make a hole in the tree so the car can go like that. Those such big wide trees, they're called redwood trees. And so they were cutting all these trees for paper or whatever. And so they protested. And this man, Ronald Reagan, says, if you have seen one redwood tree, you have seen all redwood trees. Why do you need so many redwood trees? Tell me. Huh? Why? Look, here is a tree. This is also the same tree. That's also the same tree. Do you need so many trees? One redwood, you want a redwood tree, right? See, here is a redwood tree. What's your problem? This was his idea. And so here Swamiji says, hey, this kind of attitude is not ecology, it is economy. All economy mindset. Economy. This what do you call it? This obsession with economy. Economy is important, no doubt, for people to survive properly. But this obsession, forgetting the ecology completely. That's why we are struggling now with so many problems: water problem, pollution problem, ozone problem, this and that. So that is economy. We are talking about ecology here. And so that appreciation has to be there in the human mind. And so these shlokas help us tune our minds towards that. And Prajapati has given the Vedas for us. And this is there. It is not like this is new for us. It's all there. Every Vaidika practices this on a daily basis. You go to Rishikesh, you go anywhere, just look at Ganga. Look at the people in the morning. They will be there at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Water is freezing. And they go inside, they dip themselves in the water. They think it will purify them. Okay, this is the attitude we have. And then they stand there like this, and then sun is rising, and then they will do like this. They will chant whatever mantra they know, they will chant. Look at this attitude. So that's the kind of lifestyle here, and it's not difficult for us. Well, you may say we don't have a river nearby, etc. That is fine. That is okay. Before you take a shower, take a bath, you say Gange cha Yamune cheva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. Close your eyes and visualize all the rivers of India, or all the rivers of any world rivers. Every river is sacred. Ganga, of course, is too sacred, but every river, Mississippi is also sacred. Okay, so visualize all those rivers. Mississippi has been reduced to a trickle thanks to all the dams in between and thanks to all the electricity generation. By the time it flows out of Louisiana, it's trickling. Poor river. It's supposed to be flowing like that, but it's lost its energy because of all the tapping that has been done. But still, a river is sacred. So visualize all those rivers, and then this water is coming from that river only. Where else will the water come from? No, it's coming from earth. Well, it's coming from earth means where is that water coming from? It's all coming from oceans and rivers only. Same water. Therefore, that prayer becomes an opportunity, that taking a shower becomes an opportunity for me to connect with Ishvara. Beautiful. Long before you come to the puja room, you're already prayerful, correct? Puja now becomes just so simple because you're ready. You've already completed your puja, in fact. So this is our view here, and therefore next line, second line of the shloka, parasparam bhavayantaha. Parasparam, mutually you propitiate each other. You propitiate, you recognize, propitiate devatas, you salute the devatas, and they in turn will help you, will bless you, which is the reality anyway. Which is the reality. The so-called environmental movement of protecting trees and protecting all the animals, etc., aquatic things, aquatic lifestyle, life and so forth. In a way, it is a recognition of, not of the Devata. Swamiji would actually, he doesn't like this environmental movement. He will call it a mentalist movement because it's selfish. It's based on selfishness. Hey, my life is threatened if I don't have trees, okay? Therefore, this movement, he criticizes the movement. No. Yeah, your life is threatened, no doubt about it, and it will be threatened. That's so, because that you are an animal like that, and what else do you expect? But he will say, it's your duty to do stuff. You are eating every day, therefore you got to give back. That giving back, that we are talking about dharma here. We are not talking about I'll protect those trees so I can get some oxygen to breathe. No, that's not correct. So the mindset is a little different here. And so parasparam bhavayantaha. Okay, we're running out of time here. Shreyah param avapsyatha. Param Shreyah avapsyatha. You will gain Param Shreyah. The next class we will see what this Param Shreyah means. Okay. So parasparam bhavayantaha, mutually propitiating each other, may you gain the greatest good. Okay, we'll come back in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.